Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 18th of January. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, as you can see, yesterday we put this lovely daily pivot swing in. Good up day for the euro here at the moment. It's probably not a great surprise that we're seeing a bit of a retrace back to its daily pivot on the you can see on this hourly chart at the moment. Important point, in fact, here, or I say important trading part here is if we start breaking back up above the hourly eight, I'm erring much more bullish. We've got to take into account that the higher time frame moving average is still pointing pretty much upwards. The 200's just rolling over a little there, but the shorter terms have rolled over a bit, but not a surprise when you see such a correction. And well, the correction's been quite choppy at that, so it's not a not a major concern at the moment, and it would look like that we could see some continuation to the upside. That said, a break of the daily pivot here in the 34, well, the 50 would be a sort of a reasonable target if it does start selling off to the lower side. Cable, well, best day for God knows how many years. And not at all a surprise. We just sort of run back into that daily 50 yesterday. We actually just ran through it fractionally, and we're seeing a bit of a correction, which was to be expected when you've seen such a big up day. Now, it's just how it deals with this correction. It isn't back to its daily pivot yet. Got quite overbought, and well, could get back to the 21 there, the 4 hourly, 4 hourly 8, maybe even the 20s, but certainly the 4 hourly 8, which was around about the 60.34. So may get a bit of an overspill here. We just watch how it comes down. But one thing with the 60.20s, it's still pointing pretty much up here, and it's quite key how it runs through this morning for me. If it manages to break back up above the 60 minutes, the 60-minute 8 there, and the euro's pushing up. Maybe we'll see a pivot miss today. It's still quite a few pips below us, but it's still got a possibility of being hit, of course, good probability. But if it does continue and push it, manage to get a footholding here and push up, and the euro continues pushing up, well, maybe we'll see a miss of the daily pivot today. If it does break down lower than this 21, well, the daily pivot seems like a reasonable target to be aiming for quite a few pips there. Now, to the upside, well, looking still towards that monthly pivot and beyond, really. Um, I think May's speech yesterday, although some of the European papers have taken it quite aggressively in the main, I think in the markets it's well accepted and logical. And well, that together with a potential bit of weakening in the US dollar could help cable continue up today. So at the moment, I'm still erring towards the bullish side on cable, but do recognise that we could see a break and a pullback to the pivot. Dollar yen then, and bigger picture again. Good solid day yesterday, continue to push to the downside here. At the moment, we've got this sort of harami-looking candle coming into play, but again, no great surprises to see some sort of retrace. Now, for some reason, my 4 hour chart hasn't loaded there, but I'll manage. And nor is my hourly. I'm just going to pause it for a second. Unpaused. Right, sorry about that. Okay, so bit of a delay in charts loading this morning. So the dollar yen, as I say, not a great surprise again with a bit of a retrace, has overrun the daily pivot somewhat here, but at the moment looking to put sort of a reversal bar in. Again, I'm looking at the hourly 8 as a sort of a bit of a guide. Maybe we should have a proper trend line on here. Let's look for the break at the lows of that. Whoops. There we go, somewhere in that region. So maybe if it starts breaking back below, I prefer the hourly 8 is just logical. But there is a bit of a curling around with the 21s as well, so they may just provide a bit of support on the way down. So the safer option may be wait for the break of the 60-21 simple there, and see if it can push back down towards yesterday's lows and continue to the downside. Looking at the bigger picture, it's pretty clear way on the daily picture. No key moving averages sitting there at the moment. Okay, dollar yen, Aussie dollar. And again, my right hand chart's not loading, my 4 hourly chart, but the dailies still there, and let's just make do with that for now. So yeah, the Aussie dollar from a daily perspective, we've been pushing up pretty well. Have got a weekly pivot untouched below, but again, the weaker dollars help the situation there. And well, no great surprise after such a day for a bit of correction back towards the pivot. Okay, I'm pausing. So we've still got the Aussie dollar, we've still got the daily pivot below us here, trying to find a bit of support um, around these lows, managing to get some support. Again, it's possibly a bit cleaner in terms of the upside potential across the break there. Maybe again wait for the break if you're looking to break trade this. Wait for the break of the 21s there, and if it can get a shove on, well, maybe it'll miss its daily pivot. Wouldn't be so wouldn't be shocked. It may still come back towards that daily pivot yet. It's this to me. And if it does, it's put a lower high in, and it looks a little bit weaker of some of these pairings. But not much in it if you just break it, selling it on the break here. I mean, it's got the 34 with it as well, so plenty of support around that area. Okay, and finally the Canadian dollar. If I'm going to get any data, it'd be good. Yeah, oh, a bit quicker. Let's see if we've got 4 hourly data on the Canadian dollar. Yeah, we've got everything. Marvelous. Okay, so a bit of divergence going on here on the Canadian dollar around these lows. It's consolidating though, 4 hourly at the moment, and well, there's still the potential. Again, it got oversold. It may just want to pull back a little bit more. But a lot of these markets got overbought, oversold yesterday. It may just want a bit more of a correction towards the daily pivot. But again, if you start breaking down, my preference is to wait for the break of the 21s completely, because that 21 simple is just literally curling around, and the way if price was to come back to that, it may just give it some sort of bounce back from there. But all the same, it may be an early entry on the break of the 8s, but 60-minute 8. But as I say, preference really is to let it get its. I'd rather the daily pivot out of the way first anyway. Now, if it breaks up above the 34, well, we may be seeing a bigger correction on the Canadian dollar. And, I'll be looking across the markets to see if it's something that's happening right the way across the different pairs. But I haven't really got a view on the long side unless it gets closed above that daily pivot 34, and then it would give the 50 as a sort of next target in line. Okay, that's pretty much it today in terms of the technicals. A couple of fundamental factors then. Coming out this morning for the UK, we've got the jobs report, the employment report coming through at 9:30. Three parts of that. The key thing would be the average earnings, as ever with these reports these days. People are looking for job inflation, or earnings inflation, sitting around about 2.6 is the forecast, 2.5 previous, so looking for a bit more earnings. And then the more secondary is the claimant count change, and the overall unemployment rate, which sits at 4.8, is a third point on there. But really looking at the earnings. Moving through the day, we've got in the US, we've got the inflation, CPI inflation coming out at 1:30, and then later on 3 p.m. we've got for the Canadian dollar, we've got the Bank of Canada monetary policy and rate statement. So a few things on later. There are some conferences following that. Actually at 4:15 there's a conference, and then we've got Yellen speaking at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm not interested in that. So that's pretty much it. Have a great one. Bye for now.